Hey, good morning, Southern Colorado. Welcome to Pros OnCall. Paul Scheidler with you. 7:02 in the AM right here on the FM. That would be Cruisin Oldies, 101.3 FM. Thursday morning. Hope your week is going good so far. And, on the way to the weekend, I don't know on the weather yet. But, hey, the weather today, we're looking at a warm-up. And it is a double-edged sword like it usually is in Southern Colorado. So, looking at highs today of 71 in Colorado Springs. Going to be about 76 down there in the Steel City, but you got some wind coming up, and so there's a little bit of a skirt alert out there, so just be aware of that. And that's about all I got to say on that. And so hey, we're going to go ahead and get going. Got some great stuff going on here, and you know what, we're going to start off here and talk with our resident insurance expert. And we've got Tony with Solid Rock Insurance Agency. Always a pleasure having you here, my friend.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Hey, you're the official insurer here of SoCo Radio and stuff. And so, I just want to real quick just remind folks that Solid Rock Insurance Agency, a little bit of a different beast than what most people are used to in terms of insurance. You're an independent agent.
Correct. You have independent agent versus captive agent. Captive agent, if you're driving down the street and you see the big sign, with the company logo and everything in real big letters or real big sign, then little tiny letters underneath, you'll see the name of that agent. That's going to be what's called the captive agent. And when you have the captive agent, they literally can sell that company's product and nothing else.
We've got the red or the red. Which one would you like?
Exactly. Whereas independent agent, we've got 17 different companies on the auto side. We have 11 different options on the home side.
Wow.
Not counting what's called the surplus lines. So if you're in a situation where you're having a really hard time finding insurance, I definitely have very good options there as well.
Well, you've talked about that before, and I think that this bears repeating for people that are having some challenges out there, and maybe they're finding places that say, we'll insure you, and for whatever they're looking to get, but the price is absorbent and things. I mean, that's an easy way of telling somebody that we'll insure you if you pay us, but we don't really want you. There are businesses, though, out there, that's what you shop for, that have the appetite for that particular person, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, the surplus lines, you have to have at least 3 companies, 3 what they call standard carriers, actually reject the risk. If they reject the risk, then you are eligible to be insured with the surplus carrier.
Oh, okay.
And so someone with, say, T-lock shingle roofs, or someone with an excessive amount of claims.
Like Lisa here.
Right, but, or someone with an excessive amount of claims. I have the ability of finding insurance, and it's actually very reasonable considering the coverage and considering, the circumstances. It's very, very reasonable.
And you do all the work?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Folks, here's the deal. You can give them a call wherever you're at here in Colorado. It's 719-574-0082. That's 719-574-0082. Online it is solidrockagency.com. And we're talking for auto, we're talking for home, life insurance, business insurance. They can help you all with that. Tony really, really helped me, and it was so easy. I gave you just the little snippets of information. It wasn't even anything, and I think a day later you got back to me and said, hey, here's what we've got. You ended up saving me right out of the gate on my auto insurance, $80 a month, and I had better coverage, and it was really, really great, and I loved it. But the fact is that I'm getting ready to switch over my home to you, as soon as they finish off the repairs there, and then it'll be even better.
Hey, yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, it will be, right?
Oh yeah, no, it will be.
Yeah.
It will be.
I mean, I already looked at the quote you had, so it's better, definitely better.
Right.
So, I mean, it's kind of a no-brainer. I just got to get that stupid mortgage company to release the checks.
No, you're good. I know the cold claims process can take forever, it seems, but the insurance company is just doing its due diligence, making sure it's got its ducks in a row, when it's making out the payouts.
Well, I think they're just making it up to protect somebody's phony baloney job.
We'll see.
Anyway, folks, you can call them today at Solid Rock Insurance Agency. And, for you great folks that are listening down there in the Steel City, your options sometimes are a little bit limited. And I don't know why that is. But the fact is that Tony deals with people wherever you're at here in Colorado. He and his staff are really focused on getting you not just the best rate. I mean, obviously we want that, but they also want to make sure you have the right coverage, and that's something that you're really going to take and talk with people a little bit about, and ask them some questions and explain some things.
Oh yeah, I mean, every company's got its little appetite on what they're looking for, and when it comes to insurance, I mean, the way you can tell if someone really likes you is, are they charging you less?
Well, yeah.
I mean, it's how you find out that are you the ideal client for that particular company or not.
Right.
So,
folks, you can give them a call, 719-574-0082. That's 719-574-0082. Online, solidrockagency.com. Okay, so you brought a great guest in, and I'm going to let you go ahead and introduce them since they're your guests there.
Oh, absolutely. So I have with me Rodney Gullatte, Firma IT Solutions. If you are a business owner, especially, and you are worried about your network security, which, quite frankly, you should be if you are not. You hear about the hacks going on with, all of these companies with, Target way back in the past, but, everything from Equifax to Yahoo, everything else. I mean, if these huge corporations can get hacked, how can you not be? Well, I can tell you right now, the way you cannot be is if you have someone like Rodney Gullatte, taking care of your IT solutions.
And Rodney, thanks for joining us. Appreciate you getting up early and coming into the studios here.
Thanks for having me.
Do you deal, and let me just go ahead and back up a little bit, do you deal, obviously, business is your main game, correct?
Correct.
Okay. What are the statistics out there? I mean, I'm just kind of curious. Tony was talking about that, and it just seems like we hear about that every day, about these large corporations that are getting hacked. And, I'm thinking, okay, is that something that the bad guys out there are focusing on that? Or does, Joe's hardware store have to worry about that?
Yes, they all have to worry about it. The cyber criminals have a multifaceted approach. So, the larger corporations like the Targets and the Equifax, those are definitely targets. But the small business community, they are very vulnerable to cyber attack. My company does free cyber security analyses on businesses just to see what their position is as far as security on their computer systems, and the stuff that we find is appalling sometimes. And we're just here to try to help them not be breached.
And you were talking about that, the first step is obviously awareness for a business to
Yes.
say, you know what, boy, this could happen to me. And then from there, they contact you, and you kind of do as you said, an analysis and
Yes.
things like that to show them where the weak points are.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do I have to shell out a ton of money? I know everybody listening out there that owns a business is like, well, how much is this going to cost me?
Well, the deliverable at the end of the analysis is a contract and an invoice to go ahead and take care of everything for you. I think a misconception with a lot of the businesses is that it's not affordable.
Mm-hmm.
So if you were to hire somebody full-time with my expertise, it would be at least 6 figures.
Wow.
A lot of small businesses can't afford that.
No.
Those were the salaries I was making before I started my own business. So, when you outsource it to a company whose purpose is to manage your IT and your cybersecurity, and I'm not the only one out here. There's a lot of really good ones, so I encourage businesses to shop around. I hope you choose us. There's a lot of options out there, and it's affordable, especially for the nonprofit community.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them don't think that they can afford to have top-notch IT support, and they actually can. There's actually some really cool options out there for nonprofits. And one of the other good places to start, if you don't know where to start with your cybersecurity, is to go to the SBDC. You give them a call and tell them, like, hey, I'd like to come in and get a consult on, what it would take to manage our cybersecurity or make it better for our business.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll set you up with probably with me.
And you kind of know where I'm going with this when
Yes.
I'm talking about affordability,
Yes.
Because somebody says, I'm a small business, I can't afford Rodney. Boy, he's really great. I'd love to, but I just can't afford it. The fact is that a business could be liable for a lot more money if they have a breach. I've understood that they could be held responsible for not having the right security measures in place.
Yes, I mean, when you think about the cost, it's not free to have support like we provide.
Right.
But the cost to get it is a lot less than the risk of losing your business, because a lot of these breaches, not only are they stealing personal information, but your consumer confidence is going to go way down, and
Right.
people are going to ask, what were you doing when you got breached? How are you protecting How are you protecting my consumer information? You say, well, I have my office manager doing it, or I was doing it and I have no idea what I was doing. I had free antivirus or no antivirus, or the passwords were all the phone number for the business, or all my email passwords and my passwords to my bank account were all the same. Bronco 7 was my password to everything. It's
You gave away Tony's.
no, actually. So on that note,
Tony's is Broncos 01.
on that note, consumers want to do business with other businesses that take their cybersecurity seriously, which
Right.
is why Solid Rock Insurance is such a great company, because I know for a fact that they're taking their cybersecurity seriously. And because of that reason, I'm comfortable referring people to them, because I know they're doing everything possible to make sure that their systems and their personal information that flows throughout their computer systems is taken care of.
Well, and you bring up a great point, Rodney, because it's a lot of businesses have that. With your business, Tony, you have a lot of information for people. You have driver's license numbers, you have date of birth, you have social security numbers, you have a lot of other information. People, that's valuable out there in the black market, isn't it?
Yes, it's very valuable.
Oh, absolutely.
And a lot of business owners, they kind of think that they're the only victim of a breach. They don't understand. Many of them don't understand that if they get breached, all that consumer data, all those people are going to be affected because you didn't invest in protecting your business from cyber attack. So it really behooves them to do it.
So when we're talking about that, as far as the dark side of the internet and stuff,
Yes.
what do these people do with this information? Is that what they're looking for? Is personal information so that they can steal identities or something like that?
There's identity theft. You've got, identity theft, and come on, there's so many ways of making money or establishing lines of credit for people. But businesses are also affected too. There's a lot of federal, what they call FEINs, which can be used to go for some credit and stuff like that as well. There's a lot of ways that they can take the information that is there and really run with it and be profitable, on their end. And at the end of the day, these people aren't sitting in a basement, doing whatever they're doing down there, but to just pass time. They're a lot of them are making some really serious money, off of
serious money.
Even if it's just selling the data to people who can utilize it better.
And that's what I thought most of them did, was they gather it up and then they take it, through their contacts. They'd say, hey, I got 100,000 names with this, and this. What'll you give me for it?
Some of it's identity theft. Some of it is the theft of intellectual property, or the theft of information. We think about Hillary Clinton's email hack right before the election was going on.
But that was government, so there was no intellectual property there.
Well, there was a lot of. So
I'm just kidding around.
Yeah.
But we don't really tend to think a lot about all the things that are on there. And when you're bringing this up, some businesses have things that are very proprietary towards that business, and they've maybe are working on a project that they're going to get ready to roll out, and this needs to be kept under wraps. And so somebody gets in there and they see this and they go, hey, this is great. And I'm not trying to point fingers.
I think of the HBO hack, where they released the Game of Thrones finale and stuff like that.
And that brings to light one of the highest security risks is your inside people.
Yeah.
That's one of the biggest risks. So the education of those people, the fact that some of those people have access to things, and they can leak them.
Yeah.
If they want to, because they're inside.
Well, and so many the phishing emails, that are out there where you click on a link, and guess what? You just installed all this all this software for these hackers to go crazy.
Yes.
And I'm amazed, but people still. Some of them, I got to say, Rodney, some of them they've gotten really, really good. I mean, they come this email, and Tony brings up a great point. Some of them, it's like, oh yeah, right, they're misspelled and everything, and you're like trash. But some of them, it's like, oh my gosh, they've got the logos that for companies and stuff. And one of them that I think was going around that I got was that FedEx was needing to deliver a package and needed to know something for the delivery. I mean, it looked darn good with the FedEx logo and everything.
Well, I've seen those emails that come from friends where it literally is, hey, click on this link,
exactly.
and so if you get one of those emails, call that friend. Email them back, say, hey, did you intend on sending this to me?
That's what I do.
You'll be amazed at how many people go, no, I never sent anything like that, or no.
I like
and obviously, but it's literally coming from that friend's email address.
And I've heard also now, Rodney, that they can embed these types of Trojans and things like that into like pictures and stuff too. Because Tony brings up a great point. I'll get that too. Hey, check out this pic, or something like that from somebody I know. And I'm the same way. I'll email them and say, hey, did you mean to send me that?
So there's a lot of computer security software and methods to keep that from happening to you. But if you're the business owner or the office manager, you have no idea. So you're vulnerable to those things. I can't tell you how many times I've been to businesses that deal with people's personal information, and maybe they have like a really old version of Microsoft Office, like Office 2010. I'm going to call that one out specifically because Microsoft has given up on that product. They don't update it anymore. So there are viruses that are prolific through that system.
Really?
Where if you open a Word document, it may have some embedded code in there that will run unrestricted. But if you have the later versions of Office, those things are kind of blocked because Microsoft is still updating security software for that.
So I got a problem here with my Office 2003. Rodney didn't say anything. He looks at me and he's like,
shakes his head.
Is that still running?
Yeah. I mean, that's not the worst I've seen. I had a marina in Key West, and they're dear friends, still clients, but all their stuff was on DOS when I came.
What?
Everything, inventory, finances, everything. This was like 5 years ago.
Boy, that's ripe for the picking, isn't it? Come on in.
Yeah. But they're enjoying great new technology now, and that's the kind of stuff that we do for our clients. Well, bring them up to speed.
And folks, if you're just tuning in, we're here talking with Tony with Solid Rock Insurance Agency, and for all of your needs, whether it's auto, home, life, business, wherever you're at in Colorado, he can help you, him and his staff. You can give him a call at 719-574-0082. That's 719-574-0082, and online, solidrockagency.com. And Tony was good enough to bring in Rodney with Firma IT Solutions and Services. Now, you can get, and we're talking business here, okay? We're talking business. You can get a free cybersecurity analysis. You need to give them a call and talk with them a little bit more about protecting your business and protecting everything that you've got there and your clients. So you can call Rodney at 719-377-6603. That's 719-377-6603. Or you can learn more at Firma ITCS.com. Did I get that right?
Firma ITSS.com.
Okay, that's why I asked. I was like, I got the light shining off the card here. It's like, okay, let me get it here. Okay, so when we're talking about this, I mean, this has become such a huge deal, and I'm just going to go backwards a little bit because of something you said, Rodney, is that a person at a business goes, well, you know what, I've got a firewall, and I've got my antivirus, and I've got somebody that updates that and stuff, and I'm fine. How do you respond to that?
How do you know? So, I just got a new client in Woodland Park, and they have an enterprise level firewall device called a Sonic Wall. But so they thought they had their firewall protection in there.
And I have no idea what he said.
Yes. So it's a firewall device, but there's a username and password to access it. She didn't know it. We ended up finding out what it was. We had to reset the device, and it's been registered to some other business since 2015.
Really?
And none of the security features are turned on. at all.
So
And it hasn't been upgraded since 2015, March 2015. So I'm like, there's a lot of...
That really false sense of security.
Yeah,
right
so
there.
they thought they had a firewall,
Yeah.
but it's just sitting there. It's actually exposing their business to a lot more vulnerability.
Wow.
So we find things like that and we take care of that.
So because they had the box with the lights flashing on it, they said we're good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, you bring up a really, really huge thing when you're talking about education, and that is so huge. What you're doing is, I'm going to make an assumption here, is that yes, you're coming in on the technical side and looking at a lot of things and advising people on that, but also you're educating the business owners, the employees, and things. When Tony was talking about this with people that work for you and stuff, what's real popular these days, little thumb drives, bringing them in, bringing them out, and stuff like that. Are there risks associated with that?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So, I could take a USB flash drive, a real small one, and just flick it on the floor, let's say in this office. So there's a 46% chance that somebody in this office is going to pick it up and stick it in their machine.
Oh,
just to see what's on it.
I guarantee you, here they
So
will.
once you do that, then I own your machine. And
Really?
I may own your whole network after that. But there are ways to secure your system so, like you can't even use the USB drives, they don't work. But business owners don't know how to do that.
Right.
But we know how to do that. So those are the kind of things that we do to protect our clients' data and keep them safe. But the flash drives and they're also vectors for viruses. I know a lot of businesses that actually back up their data to flash drives.
Mhm.
It's like, oh yeah, we back it up every day or every week or something like that. Or they have an external hard drive. There are viruses out there called ransomware.
Yeah.
And if those attack your machine with those USB devices connected, then that data on those drives is going to be encrypted as well. You got to pay for that also. So if you ever get hit with a cyber attack like that, or any cyber attack, you should call the National Cybersecurity Center here in the Springs.
Okay.
And they have ways to, they have guidance for you
Okay.
to help you try to get rid of that. But cyber liability insurance, Tony knows about that. That's one way to keep yourself safe.
And that's something that you can offer folks, right, Tony? Or-
Yeah, I mean, it can. There's a couple different ways, but primarily, as an endorsement on a business owner's policy.
Okay.
And basically, if you find that you are the victim of a hack,
Mhm.
on that, things that business owners don't take into consideration is going to be the cost it's going to take, because you need to be offering free credit monitoring.
Yep.
For those
Yeah.
people that are affected. There's a lot of other steps that need to be, taking place as well. A good cybersecurity policy is actually going to cover the costs, for that.
Right.
There's actually a bunch of policies will actually cover the ransomware cost,
Yes.
Really?
as
Pay the
well,
ransom
to
as
actually, to pay off that ransom so you can get your system back.
And if you didn't have me taking care of your systems, it'll pay for you to have me come in after the fact and fix your stuff.
Yes.
But one thing that cyber liability insurance won't fix is your reputation.
Right.
Your credibility just took a big hit. And when they ask you what you were doing
Yeah.
to protect your system, and you say, I wasn't doing nothing, I have free everything, and I wasn't paying for it because I don't believe in paying for it. We've been working fine for 10 to 15 years. I've heard that before. We've been working fine. Why do I need to pay you now? I was like, well, you've been exposing your client's data for the last 10 to 15 years, and the cyber threat has grown significantly
Right.
over the 10, 15 years. So, a lot of businesses right now have Comcast modems, and Comcast, I need you to work on this with the folks. If you've already implemented, thank you, but I'm finding clients of yours with your business class cable modems with the default username and password on them. So
Really?
I would highly recommend that you just tell your techs, when you go over there, talk to the client. Just talk to them for like 5 minutes. Like, hey, this is how you change your password. Let's change it right now before I leave.
Yeah.
Just do that.
I mean,
5 extra minutes.
I switched over to Comcast not long ago, and I went with that was the first thing I did was when the tech was there, I changed it, the username and password right then and there.
I was at a law firm. Okay, it's got a bunch of law firms in it, different independent ones.
Okay.
They're sharing internet. Okay, they've got a cable modem that's got the default username and password still on it. For law firms,
Wow.
can you imagine the data on those systems?
Well, and also I think about this too, Rodney. I think about tax services that
Yes.
do tax
Yes.
preparation.
Yes.
I think about lending brokers and
Yes.
things like that.
Although right now, insurance.
Yeah, uh-huh.
Yeah,
I mean,
and insurance.
you guys
Yes.
have people's lives in your machine. I mean, you could build a better Paul with the information you got.
A better Paul?
Well, I don't know. You know what? I don't worry.
Top model, man.
I
kidding
don't
me?
worry about people stealing my identity. I'm in radio. I had somebody that stole my identity. He called me up, cursing me out. What the heck did you do? Now I got all these people calling me wanting money. I was like, too bad, you shouldn't have stolen my identity,
Yeah, shouldn't have stolen it, man.
Yeah, but you know, these are all these things that we don't think about, and what we're talking about with the thumb drive education
Yes.
for the employees and things like that,
Yes.
so that they know how to protect the system, because it is everybody's job, I guess.
Yes, it is. And, you know, they should definitely, if they have questions, call the Pikes Peak SBDC. That's what they're here for. They're there to give businesses guidance like that.
Mhm.
You know, give us a call. You know, there's a lot of resources to know better. And what I like about Colorado Springs is that from the governor on down, they're all cybersecurity focused. I'm an adjunct professor at Pikes Peak Community College for cybersecurity. So you know, I like the whole education piece. I think that's important.
Well, and that's why I brought that up, because I
Yeah.
like that too. I didn't even think about that. A person goes in, and this is the old thing, like, you know, Tony and I talk about, you know, choosing wisely, because the fact is that you could have somebody, and maybe they're great and everything, and they come in and they go, well, we're going to do this and we're going to do that, and then you're all set up to go, here's your passwords and things, and, you know, we'll follow up with you later. But then their employees, because they don't know how to do things in a proper way to mitigate risks, it's all for naught.
But it even goes higher level than that. Let's talk about current news. Kaspersky in October
Yeah.
has been ousted. They've had malicious software in their security suite for a while.
Yeah.
So I know of financial advising firms with Kaspersky all over their machines. There's businesses right now listening to this broadcast who have Kaspersky on their machines. If you are within the sound of my voice right now, get it off your computers right now. The free stuff is not going to protect you very well. Stop using the free stuff.
I know.
The wireless
you
networks.
get what you pay for. I always say that.
Yeah.
Think about that. The last time that you got something for free, did you get what you paid for?
No, and you know there's cheap managed service providers like the businesses we provide, the services we provide out there. But you know, cheap is not the way to try to run this operation.
Well, you can pay me
wanna
now,
get
and
the
you can
best.
pay me later. And let me ask you this, Tony. So some business person goes, you know, that's smart. I want to go ahead and get that rider on my policy for my business for the cyber insurance. Okay, now. That doesn't get them off the hook. I mean, like Rodney was saying, you know, you don't want to jeopardize your reputation, but I would imagine that there are steps that are necessary that they take in order for that policy to even pay out if necessary, correct?
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, insurance as a whole, you know, if there's a chance for a claim to occur, I mean, you need to take every step possible to minimize that risk.
So like Rodney was talking about, just because you've got this insurance, you might feel all warm and fuzzy, but that doesn't mean that you're okay running the vast,
Free. Yeah.
exactly. So,
yeah, I mean, you gotta definitely make sure. I mean, it's just common sense.
yeah, well, that's
When it comes to internet security, there's really not a lot of common sense
Yeah.
out there.
Well,
what I'm seeing.
it's just knowledge. I've been doing this for 20 years. I've got a bachelor's degree in computer science. I've got like 13 certifications. Like I live and breathe this. It's what I do every day. It's my profession. I'm
yeah,
good at
because
it.
I'm telling
You
you
want
what,
someone who's passionate
he's
about
got the
this.
Microsoft certification right on his jacket.
Yes,
he
sir.
does.
I want you to see that. But you know, there's people I deal with who are excellent tax professionals. They're amazing lawyers.
Yep.
But their knowledge in my profession is not there. So they need to invest the money and hire that piece out before they lose their business.
Right. I mean, it could cost them a lot more.
Yes.
And, you know, it comes down, I always say this, there was one of the Dirty Harry movies that he said, a man's got to know his limitations.
Yes.
And you know what, I will do some things, but there are other things where I go, you know what, I don't think that I'm going to tackle that myself. And that's where you get a professional to come along and take care of all this, because there's several things that you've been talking about that, you know, I didn't know about. And I guarantee you, our listeners are out there and probably cringing a little bit if they own a business. So this helps you sleep at night. It helps you know that you're protecting your business, protecting the things that are important to it, that are valuable, protecting your clients, and you know, like you said, you can't rebuild that credibility once all this comes down.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct.
Because that's the first thing people want to know. Well, what were you doing?
Yep.
You know, how did you get hacked?
And I think it's important for consumers to ask the people that they do business with, especially the ones they do business with that traffic in personal information, like accounting firms, law firms,
Right.
insurance providers. Ask them what they're doing to protect your data. Ask them that up front. Ask them that up front. They're like, well, you know, I don't know. We're already
You
like,
asked
no,
me
dude,
that.
no. You need to find somebody else. Go find a solid rock insurance agency. Go find him. Go call Tony, because I know he's safe. Go call him and use that one. Farmers agencies is interesting also.
Oh, really?
Yes. So they are not really opening any new branches of those out. So the owners of those farmers agencies are selling them to each other, or selling them to new people. So what I'm finding when I do cyber audits on farmers agencies is that there may have had like a managed IT provider like 2 or 3 ownerships ago.
Oh, wow.
There may be remote access software sitting on the computer, and they have no idea. They know how to do the insurance thing, and farmers tech support will help them with their information system in the cloud that they use. But other than that, like the encryption on their hard drives, they're not doing that. They don't know about that. A lot of them don't.
Well, their business is
folks.
selling insurance and following up and providing service to their clients, and that's not their business. Cybersecurity.
Yeah.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
and there's not a lot of businesses out there that specialize in it for sure.
Yes.
But I've used Rodney, and I can tell you right now, he's incredible. But
Thanks,
what I'll say right now though
too.
is, if you think you might even have a risk factor on this, get that free
It
analysis.
doesn't cost you anything.
And that's
It costs you a little bit of time, but I'll tell you right now, I learned so much when I went through it. It was ridiculous.
Yes.
Folks, for you folks out there that are the business owners, or maybe you're listening and you're going, wow, that is kind of scary, and I don't know if my business owner has that or not. You could be the star of your business, and they'll parade you down the hallways because you were so bright to offer this to the boss and the owner and stuff. So get some kudos there. It's absolutely free to get to your cybersecurity analysis from Rodney at Firma IT Solutions and Services. Now, you just want to give them a call at 719-377-6603. That's 377-6603. Online, you can go to firmaitss.com.
Awesome.
But just give them a call at 719-377-6603 for Firma IT Solutions and Services. And, of course, Solid Rock Agency. They got it all. 719.
Yeah, I can tell you right now, if you don't have Rodney's number, if you don't have the chance to write it down right now, call my agency. We've got it, obviously, because we use them.
That's true. Or
Thank
just
you,
go to
Tony.
the ProsOnCallLive.com and go to our pro businesses and click on Solid Rock Insurance Agency, and that'll give you the number for Solid Rock too. So hey, you got no excuses. Don't tell me you didn't know or you couldn't write it down. 719-574-0082 for Solid Rock Insurance Agency. And Tony, I can't thank you enough. It's always interesting when you come in and you bring in some interesting guests. Rodney, wow, you blew me away. I can't thank you enough for
Thank you
coming
for
in
having
today.
me on, Paul. You the man. Thank you.
Okay, we're going to take a quick break, and what am I going to do here? Oh, that's right. We're going to learn a little bit about how you can have more money in your pocket today, tomorrow, and retire a little bit richer. That's nothing wrong with that. And so stick with us. When we come back, we're going to be listening in to the mortgage doctor, Steve Haney of Provident Lending, and he's the man with the plan. So stay with us. We'll be right back with a whole lot more. We're out.
Awesome, dude. That was dope. That was a good session, man. It was a good session. I like it, dude.
That was
Thank you.
absolutely.
Thank you.
He was actually wondering about your station manager. He was looking at the software.
Yeah, I was
you
looking
have
at your
now.
computer. I was like, man, I got some
You know what?
age on it.
You know what? You need to.